Well, there were a number of factors that were disappointing. Brazil and Russia had very bad years. The United States had a weak second half of the year. And in general, world trade was very weak in 2016. I think we are going to see a significant improvement in 2017. You can see this in a lot of indicators, recent indicators. The fourth quarter was good. Consumer confidence is good across much of the advanced countries, and enterprises are quite optimistic. Of course, the stock market is strong, and it seems like world trade is picking up as well. So I think 2017 will be a much better year. It doesn't actually change very much from year to year. Now India is at the top of the list, okay, although some people question the numbers in India. And then China is close to that. After that, I mean, I'm talking about the large economies, of course. The advanced countries are growing much more slowly. Whereas India and China are near the 7% range, 6.5%, 7% range, the advanced countries are nearer the 2% range. But among the advanced countries, the United States should show quite a bit faster growth than the rest, in part because there is what we call a Trump rally. And somehow President Trump has infused a certain confidence, and there's an expectation of fiscal stimulus that's helping the United States. Well, there's a lot to worry about in President Trump's policies. Although in the short term, he has given an infusion of confidence, in part because, as I said, he's thinking about stimulus, he's thinking about infrastructure spending, he's talking about tax cuts. People like, to think about reduced taxes, and that has stimulated, I think, confidence in the short term. He's also, unfortunately, talking about America first and protecting American market. That, while it could be positive for one or two sectors in the US economy, will actually be negative for the US economy in the medium term, and could also be very bad for the international economy, because nowadays we have an integrated global system of production and consumption, and impediments to trade will affect not only consumers that will see higher prices, but will also affect producers, because they depend on each other in complex value chains, and will also affect competition across the world. In the end, that will lead to a significant deceleration of productivity growth and slower economic growth. Well, the European economy is getting quite a bit better. It's a very gradual process of improvement, which has been going on for several years. I would say that the turning point was about 4 years ago, when Mario Draghi said that he will do whatever it takes to preserve the Eurozone. At that point, you saw a stabilization of several of the countries of the South, and his expansionary monetary policies contributed in a significant way to stabilizing confidence in Europe. Germany is very much the locomotive, doing very well, both from a competitive point of view and from increasingly from an underlying demand point of view. That's very much the locomotive of Europe. But most of the other countries, nearly all the other countries, are seeing an improvement, a gradual improvement. And what is impressive is that this strength has persisted despite the big shock of Brexit. And indeed, in the UK, despite all the uncertainty caused by Brexit, so far the economy has been performing quite well. Yeah, so the emerging and developing countries, of course, is a huge group, have seen again, in part because of the improvement in confidence in the advanced countries, and the fact that monetary policies have continued to be very accommodative in the advanced countries. You know, small uptick in US interest rates, but still quite modest. So the combination of improvement in the advanced countries and quite loose monetary policy, the prospect of fiscal stimulus in the United States, have also led to a rise in commodity prices, not just oil, but non-oil commodities. Together, this has provided a significant improvement in the context for developing countries. And so they've been doing well, and some developing countries, they've been doing much better. Some developing countries have had their own dynamics. Brazil and Russia saw a very big recession in 2015, 2016, but now are coming out of it. So all of that, together with the underlying strengths of India and China, is boosting emerging markets, not in a huge way. The growth rate remains well below the pre-crisis levels, but certainly an improvement.